Well, hello to all 6 of you watching this. So I love all y'all. I really appreciate my patrons, my subscribers, my viewers, all of you propping me up. I couldn't do this without you, but I feel a little bit like I've given y'all a lot in the last week. You know, I've given you a whole bunch of reviews of unaged Savannah rums. I found an actually interesting, compelling option from Puerto Rico. I have, shown you Glen Moray trouncing all over the rest of the space side. I have provided my time and my reviews to you. So damn it, I want to do a video for me. So we're going to do a Pomace Brandy video on, basically Grappa or Mar style brandies from outside of Italy or France. So I got one from Armenia, I got one from Georgia, and I've got one from Massachusetts. And let's get these poured. So for those of you new to this, I don't know, maybe there's a chance of that. What is Pomace Brandy? Well, it is brandy made from wine leftovers. After you press your grape must, basically your juice, off your skins and other leftovers, what you have left in the tank is pomace. And you can do lots of stuff with that. You can dry it out and burn it, or you can just, get some kind of further fermentation going maybe, and ultimately distill it. It is a gigantic pain in the ass to make Pomace Brandy, but some of it is absolutely fabulous. Oh, I should tell you about this. We're going to start out with this. This is Aralez from Armenia. And this has maybe the worst closure I've ever seen. Check this out. The box thing over there. Okay, check that out. How do you open this? Any ideas? You may notice there's not a cork in there. Glass cork, maybe? No, it's not a glass cork. What do you do? Well, let me show you. It is a glass screw top. So you have to get this little ribbony thing in exactly the right position and then kind of unscrew it and it comes right off. This is terrible. It took me so long to figure this thing out. It's like if the Hellraiser puzzle box were a bottle closure mechanism, it might be this. So this is already a little bit in the doghouse for me. But you know what? We're gonna try it. Aralez. Oh, Aralez is see this little winged doggy here? That's an Aralez. It's a mythical creature from Armenia. We're gonna give this a try. See what we got. 43% alcohol by volume. First impression I got. So some of these I think it's just the Riravo I've tried before. This one's new to me. First impression is it's a mix of apricots and Moscato d'Asti. I've done my rant on why Moscato d'Asti is awesome before. We're kind of out of that season, but pool season is absolutely the time for really good Piedmont Moscato d'Asti. And it's got that kind of floral, grapey, aromatic thing, plus the apricot-y thing, and we're on the more herbaceous side of apricots. That's most of what's going on here. Apricots and Moscato. There's a certain kind of minerality here too. Hard to nail down. A little bit of road dust, but also a touch of chalk. Some tobacco too, maybe. Carolina Brightleaf. Yeah, I mean it smells like an eau de vie of apricot and Moscato. That's kind of what I'm getting. But nice. Anything else in there? Maybe a touch of, like, little touch of, like, cardamom pod, like green cardamom pod. Something like that. Something like that, like a spice, but very light. On the palate. So when you're dealing with Pomace Brandy, whether it be Mar or Grappa, or I don't know what the Armenian name for it is, and they haven't put it on the bottle. When you're dealing with these things, the noses are going to be good. Like, if you have a Pomace Brandy and the nose sucks, just, like, don't even bother with the rest of it, because like these things just have good noses. This has a good nose. I like it. The palate is a little bit trickier. Hold on. Much more austere. And much more on apricot, honestly. It's very apricot and tobacco. Well, let me see if I can take that apart a little bit. Apricot is already pretty herbaceous if you've had apricot brandy before. So there's a lot of herbs there already, but then on the front end of this, in particular, you kind of get a lot of, let's go tobacco. Let's go Carolina Brightleaf. And it's really only kind of as you hit the mid palate that you get more fruit. You get the apricot coming in, and then an additional layer of apricot-y herbaceousness. A little chalk up front as well. That road dust thing. Kind of like a dental plaster component as well on the front end of this. Something fruity, but it's not actual fruit. It's like a candy, but it's hard to put my finger on it. It's like a chalky medicinal candy component. I mean, okay, let's go. Somebody put a little bit of like apricot flavor in the dental plaster before you bit down on it. So maybe there's a little bit of apricot in the front end of this, but it's so wrapped up in the plaster and the chalkiness. And then it really kind of gets apricot in the mid palate. I'm kind of puzzled over this. Yeah, there's that kind of green cardamom thing. White pepper, tobacco. It's funny because it has a lot of texture to it. I mean, for 43%, it actually feels quite fat in the mouth. But the finish, most of the details I'm enjoying in this really fade out of the mouth pretty fast. You're just kind of left with a mouthful of chalk and dental plaster and kind of like some stale herbs. It's tricky. It's tricky. I don't say this that often because I really like unaged Pomace spirit, but this one could use some time in the oak. Just get some European and oak, throw this in here for like 5-6 years, maybe a little bit longer. Enough time for the two to kind of marry. And I think you'd have something better because this has elements that I like, and I think they would be elements that would show pretty well in aging. But as it is, I'm not super duper convinced by this. Let's give it some water. We'll come back to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's move on to the Chacha. So we've had a little bit of Chacha before. This is from Georgia. This is Riravo. I've had some eau de vies from them. 45%. Let's see what we got. Ooh. So the Aralez had a pretty good nose, honestly. This is much more kind of what I was hoping for. This is better. Very wild, very kind of stemmy and austere, but kind of bright in its austerity. So you're getting flowers, but it's not just like wildflowers, but it's not just the blossoms. Like you're getting the stems, you're getting the leaves, you're getting a little bit of dirt. Certainly a mix of tea leaves in there as well. Like a little bit of Darjeeling, but also like some white tea leaves. Not as much tobacco as in the Aralez. It's more like burley this time. It's like a nutty tobacco. Some really nice kind of raisin, dried grape kind of characters. Raisin. Also, like a fresh fig thing. So it's a mix of dried and fresh fruit. Some minerality on this too, but it's more straightforward on like whetstone. White pepper. Okay. And a little bit of like a Smarties candy thing. Yeah. Again, Pomace Brandy, number one, needs to have a good nose. This has got a good nose. The Aralez also had a good nose, but it wasn't as good as this. On the palate. Oh. Both of these really austere so far. Not that that's unheard of in Pomace land. I feel like I've just pulled up a couple of big old clumps of wildflowers and put them into my mouth. Like blossoms, stems, dirt, leaves, all of it. Just all of it straight into my mouth. And then about halfway through my mouth, they turned into whetstones and like just kind of mixed gravel. And I enjoyed it. A little bit of apple in the nose too, like a Granny Smith apple. That's in there. Ooh. It's really austere on the palate though. No, that kind of fresh fig thing is there. There's a little bit of grapiness. A little bit of the Smarties. Not to say you're forgetting, it's entirely devoid of dental plaster. There's a little bit of that going on in here. What's impressing me is it's very austere. You got a little bit of the fig thing, hints of other fruit, but everything kind of sticks around longer on this than on the first glass. Very austere, but it's not just, the pepper and the bitterness kind of sticking around. Now, the flavors involved in this, you gotta like eating flowers. I don't know if I like eating flowers, but I'm enjoying this. Oh, there's a little bit of like a lime peel, lime pith kind of thing happening. Interesting. I want to see what water does to that. Because I feel like this has more to say, and I want to see if I'm right. All right, now this. This should be interesting. House Grappa, but it is not Grappa from Italy, and so they might get into legal trouble about this. It is Grappa from Massachusetts. Treehouse is a it's a brewery, but they also have a big old distillery where they do a lot of nerdy brandy stuff, eau de vie stuff. And this is a Grappa de Marquette, which is I think Marquette is a hybrid grape. Don't quote me on that, but it's one of those grapes that you tend to see in the kind of other the other 46 states that try to grow wine outside of California, Washington, Oregon, and New York, you tend to see a lot of weird grapes, and that's fine. Anyways, I don't know much about this, and I cannot find much about this, but it's 45% alcohol. Let's give this a review. Ooh, musky. Oh yeah, there's like a sweaty character to this. That's fun. Yeah, it smells like the finish line in a marathon. So yeah, like sweaty, stinky stuff, but it's also quite fruity. Yeah, melon. What is that? I should know my fruits better. What is that fruit you find in Jamaica that they do with the ackee? Ackee. It smells a little bit like ackee and melon. And what is that? Like a little bit of tamarind in there. Almost a weird fruit, interesting fruit. No, there's a little bit of like a fig thing in there as well, a little mulberry. But it's so like the musky, sweaty character of this cannot be denied. And I'm kind of into it. Oh, but wait. Also floral. There's a lot of flowers in this as well. But it's not as stemmy. So it's as if you've traded the stemminess that we're getting on the Riravo for sweaty marathon runners. Or, maybe not marathon. Like, marathons are pretty... 10K runners. Let's go with that. I like it. There's a little bit of a white tea on this too. On the palate. Massachusetts, with a grape I've never heard of, may beat out the old world here. This is very good. We're still on the austere side of things, but welcome to Mar, or Pomace Brandy, I should say. Is the kind of stinky, musky, sweaty thing making its way to the palate? A little bit, but way less. This is much more pure on wet rocks, gravel, mixed with nerds candy, fig, mulberry, a little bit of melon on this too. Not getting so much the ackee. White pepper. Chalk on this as well, a little bit. It's the least austere of these three. It's still pretty austere though. But yeah, a lot more fruit. In terms of mouth presence, I don't know if it's beating the Riravo. But yeah, stuff is sticking around the finish. It feels very, it's got some presence there. A little bit of what is that? Some Mirabelle plum in there as well. There's a little, like that. Anytime I'm getting orange and I think, wait, that's not orange, that's what it's related. I think is that Mirabelle? And 90% of the time it's Mirabelle. But that's in there. Touch of dried peach, apricot. This is good. This is yummy. It's still not to the point where I feel like I could serve this for normal people and they would enjoy it, but the most easygoing of the three, and maybe the best. I want to see what happens with water, though. Just a squirt of water. Let's do these again. All right, back to the Aralez. Let's see if this is lightened up a little bit. Absolutely not. I feel like I'm just smelling rocks now. Like, honestly. Rocks that, you know, maybe half an hour ago someone spilled some Moscato onto. Very austere. I'm still enjoying it as a nose, but austere, and there's not that much going on when you're paying it. There's a vividness to it. There's an intensity, but there's the apricot. It's still in there. It's not that complex. All right, on the palate. Come on, Armenia. Oh. The strange expression on my face is because this adding water has lengthened the finish on this. But it also makes it go through some very interesting astringency. That dental plaster thing kind of takes over on the back end. I don't think I hate it. It's just not what I was expecting. The development on this is super duper weird. Like, it's kind of tobacco-y and plastery up front, and then you get a nice burst of fruit on the mid palate. You know, aromatic grapes, apricot, mostly flowers, and then, you know, going into the finish, the dental plaster kind of comes back, not immediately, but it kind of creeps its way back in as, you know, the finish develops. This is a tough one. It's just a unusual brandy, even by Pomace Brandy standards. One more time. It has improved with water, though, by a lot. Not a huge lot, not enough to make it amazing, but this is like an 83, which is really like an 82 plus 1. 82 plus 1 equals 83. Austere, really interesting, but combined with the lack of a really a fun factor, and also this what is this? This topper. I don't know if I can really recommend this. So yeah, there you go. 83 points for the Aralez. I would, however, if the producers are watching, first of all, I'm sorry that I don't like your Pomace Brandy all that much. It's okay. I don't hate it. But I do think go find some old European oak barrels, throw this in there for like 5-6 years. I'm telling you. All right, back to the Riravo. This was the one I really wanted to try with some water because it feels like it'll just kick it open. Yeah, a little bit. Oh, is this the best nose of the bunch? No, nope. I think the Massachusetts is just, it's hanging right in there with it. Oh. I mean, the fruit is so beautiful and pretty, but it's also just flanked by the green notes, by the weird floral notes, the gravel. This is why I love Pomace Brandy, these kinds of noses. Development, it feels like it's the same set of notes. It just feels like you've base boosted a little bit. There's a little more power in there. So we're like 2 for 2 as far as like good responses to water so far. On the palate. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, ooh. This is happening to me more and more when I add water to stuff. It's the first sip becomes more unconvincing, but it also like changes somehow so that additional sips like kind of build on that first sip. I don't know how to explain it, but it's happening here. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm enjoying the Smarties on this. That mix of rocks, gravel, flowers, whole flowers, plus some dirt, with some like the fruity notes, and it just holds on really well. It's got impressive, mouth presence. I will say, like agricole rum fans, I feel like they'd be right at home in this lineup. This is righteous. So in some ways, certain aspects of the Aralez has a longer finish. Like the dental plaster thing has this funny transformation in the back end of this, the Aralez. And that holds on longer than most of the stuff in the Riravo. But the Riravo, more stuff is holding on for longer. And I feel like the consequence is just a little bit more pleasant. Well, a lot more pleasant. It's just a good Pomace Brandy. I'm not losing my mind over it, but this is good. Score-wise, I can't go crazy over this. It's good. I can't get up to 85. Feels better than 80. Let's call this an 84 plus. 84 plus out of 100 for this Riravo. And let's move on to Treehouse. I don't even think I've had a Marquette wine before, but here I am drinking a Grappa Pomace Brandy thing on the nose. Okay, it cleans itself up. The stinky marathon runners have left, so you're not getting that intense musky aspect. Well, there's there's a little bit still left in there, but much more manageable. Yeah, like weird fruit smells, melon, pawpaws maybe. Tamarind, fig, mulberry, ackee. And a lot of white pepper and some flowers. It's nice. It is the equal of the nose of the Riravo. I don't know why I'm forgetting all these names on the palate. This is the winner. This is the best thing here. Just really, really good mouthfeel. Just oily, but also kind of peppery. and quite floral. I feel like there's flower blossoms and stems kind of just playing all around my mouth. This is nice. Yeah, rocks, nerds, candy. A little bit of fruit, but still not that much. It's still very austere. All three of these are pretty austere. No, it's got a little bit of like a lime thing. This one, aside from losing the stinky musky thing on the nose, has changed the least with water. But I still think it's probably the strongest thing here. 85 points. 85 points for this House Grappa de Marquette. And that is the lineup. And it's just, the scoring kind of went in the same way as the lineup. 83 points for the Aralez, which is really like an 82 plus 1. Does improve the water. Be prepared. This is not friendly. Like, none of these are friendly, but particularly this one is not friendly. It's a little bit of a brute. Do not go to this unprepared. Then the Riravo Chacha, 84 plus, really seems to like the water, and the House Grappa, 85, and that is the video. Thank you for watching, all 6 of you, and I will see you next week. And why don't we do some rums? Bye.